Got this set up. Made it just in time. See what they're gonna be rolling out at practice. Make sure my stuff is set up on YouTube. Let me get that a look. Make sure we up and running. Oh yeah, we up and running. Okay. We up and running. Mute that. Cool. What up, gamer? What's good with you? Did the site stop or what? What's going on? Countdown stop on us? There we go. See if we got any sound.
Got your 10 draft picks, but over 20 rookies on the field. Trying to make an impression here on this coaching staff. And to give you a peek behind the curtain and maybe a reminder of how they built out this rookie class, here's a look back at the draft.
What up, people? What up, people?
Hey, is this Patrick?
Y'all hear me good? Let me get a thumbs up
hey,
if you hear me good.
In Baltimore. How are you? My boss for a lot of years, the greatest general manager in football, Ozzie Newsome, drafted Ray Lewis and drafted C.J. Mosley, and but he never.
Man's a nice screen to Costa guy.
And so
nice curve.
I'm going to follow in his footsteps and hopefully draft a Pro Bowl linebacker. But unlike him, I'm going to draft a guy from LSU.
You're a perfect fit for our defense. I see you. Look at Fred. Everybody says, I see it now. Look at you right there. I love it. Got your hat on. Yeah. That's awesome.
How much do you know?
Starter from day one.
I don't know too much about
What up, Keyshawn? I know most people probably at work didn't know this was impromptu. I came on quick and just decided to jump on.
Can you help us?
Okay. What up, Tupac?
Catch the ball, just score some touchdowns. We got some good running backs.
So this is no real script. This is off the rip. Depending on what they show us. I hope it's not a lot of talking. I hope we actually get to see some drills.
We met at the combine. We had a good meeting with you. We love the way
this is our preseason warm up, so to speak, because there's no preseason.
You've got a great skill set to help us, and we're going to make you a Baltimore Raven. We're excited about that. Who are you with? You with your family? Excited?
That was a emotional draft too.
Excited.
A lot of highs and lows, but I think the Costa did a great job. Did a great job.
You're a great player, and we are very excited. You got a great skill set. First of all, I just want to tell you, one of my favorite guys that I watched this year. I love the way you play.
Duvernay.
You remind me of a guy
no drops.
In Baltimore at one point, Steve Smith.
No drops.
And I love your competitive style, and you're going to be a great fit. And I think that Lamar is going to love playing with you, along with all the other guys in our offense.
With the 92nd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Devin Duvernay, wide receiver, Texas.
Ooh, too much light.
John Harbaugh's fired up. Yes, John.
Hey, it's Eric DeCosta with the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, that'll
you know who drafted J.K. Dobbins? Who? The Ravens, right? You know who's going to draft you?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm a purple in the background. We good. We rolling.
Baltimore Ravens.
We rolling.
We're playing in the AFC North, physical football, and you're a physical linebacker. And our owner, Steve Bisciotti, watched you, and he was really excited about you when he watched you on tape as well. So,
okay.
You know, it's going to be a really good fit.
The owner got in on it.
What I'm going to do is turn the pick on right now.
He was really excited. Appreciate it. Baltimore Ravens select Malik Harrison, linebacker, Ohio State.
Well, you played for one Harbaugh. You played for
Purple Kool-Aid today.
You played for Coach Harbaugh again.
Water.
You can do that. You excited to play for the Ravens? Well, you're a good fit.
I can get it out.
You're a good fit for us. You know, we know a lot about you, have a lot of great, obviously, connections at Michigan, and we love you as a player.
There you go.
Feel a lot of different needs for us. I love your attitude. I love your size and toughness and the intelligence. And you'll be a great addition to the team.
Woo.
Ravens.
What am I looking forward to the most? Wide receivers. Looking at the wide receivers. I just sent the tweet out that says with the DBs that our
trading away a kicker last year.
young receivers have to face, they can't help but get better. And I meant that as far as my real job and the Ravens team. I meant that for both situations.
How you feel about that?
My real job and the Ravens with the DBs that our receivers got to face.
A special few days.
They can't help but get better.
And this is a special day for them as well, as they finally take the field as a member of the Baltimore Ravens in pads. And it's a special day for me as well, because I get to work alongside one of my friends in this building, Ryan Mink, editorial director for the Ravens, a man who looks even better in a mask.
And what are you guys looking forward to most? Well, not just me. What you looking forward to seeing?
We've been doing this for a while, and sometimes you can become jaded to the fact that, we got practice, whatever. This year it just feels different for so many reasons.
Iron sharpen iron.
How would you
Definitely
describe the excitement?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is like Christmas Day when you finally get to play with the toys. We opened them and we only got to look at them. Now we finally get to see them in action. So this is super exciting. I mean, I remember in early March when they said, "All right, everybody's going to go home for 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks." Well, it turned out to be a lot longer than that. So missing OTAs, missing mini camp, and all those things. I mean, we were kind of yearning for that normalcy, right? And now we have it, and it's just a really big, exciting day.
Absolutely. It's a new normal for all of us. This feels very normal. And you mentioned going back to March, and one of the luxuries the NFL has is that they continue to do
what up, lunch break, hot take
has been done during the pandemic, and that included an off season for this organization that, as we showed, the draft also included free agency, and the roster was filled out with some impressive pieces, especially on the defensive side of the ball. As you looked at this offseason, Ryan, what stood out to you away from maybe just the draft?
Yeah, I mean, really,
how good Queen learned the playbook. Yep. How fast he learned.
It was just missing.
That's the thing. How fast Queen learned the playbook. And Malik.
From the front office perspective, and really restock that front seven. So it's really exciting to add Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, the draft picks. Yeah, Patrick Queen, Harrison,
the giant
linebackers. So they did a lot in that regard. And then John Harbaugh and his staff did an excellent job in terms of formulating an offseason plan to get the most out of it. I think that this offseason is really going to say a lot about the leaders in charge of these organizations and getting these teams ready. John Harbaugh and his staff put together an excellent offseason training program. You see it with these guys out here right now. They don't look like me. I look like I've been sitting in a basement for a few months. These guys look fantastic.
Yeah, it's good to get you out in the sun here and get that ghost away from you. Big news, and this is impressive as anything. Matt Skura, just 9 months removed from a very serious left knee injury.
Good job of doing what you got to do, Matt.
Good job. On the field here, the center that was so critical in that run game suffered that injury on Monday Night Football against the Rams. Ryan, what more can you tell us about Skura being back here in pads again? Just 9 months removed from a really serious knee injury.
Yeah, well, I remember at the end of last season when he was talking to reporters at his locker.
Undrafted free agent Tristan Colon Castillo is right there, 63.
We looked around and said, whoa.
Macari, 65.
And I think Matt even admitted that was kind of looking through
Skura, 68.
That was going to be a tough thing to pull off.
67.
And he did it. I mean, he
67 is Bredesen.
And I remember talking to him a month ago, and he was pointing towards this day specifically, saying this was going to be a huge day for him to finally go up against a defensive lineman. It's one thing to go against air and you feel good and all those things, but to go block Brandon Williams out there for the first time, it's going to be a huge confidence booster for him, and he's going to really know a lot about where his knee stands right now.
A testament to Skura's work ethic and getting himself back.
Good job, Skura. Good job.
Practice. You touched on the addition of Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe. They're the two headliners to this defensive group.
Yeah, I don't know much about a lot, so I don't really want to talk bad about them, but I need to see them.
We saw Calais on this field yesterday, an off day for players, just putting in some extra work, helping out some of the young guys. He seemed to, along
that package right there, gonna
really
be
seamlessly
nasty right there. Them two.
The culture of this
organization. That package gonna be nasty.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's one thing to do it virtually, and now you see it in the flesh. You see Calais Campbell, like you said, working with a young defensive lineman, a rookie out there. And I think, beyond pass rush that you mentioned, it's also run defense. I mean, it kind of gets overlooked, but last year the Ravens gave up 4.4 yards per carry, which was a franchise high. It's just that a lot of people didn't run on him because they had so many early leads, right? Everybody was trying to throw the ball to get back in the game. But these two guys, Derek Wolfe and Calais Campbell, I mean, Calais Campbell was the best run stopper in the NFL last year.
Yep.
Derek Wolfe, same way. So really, from a two-prong attack,
same way.
help this defense with pass rush
Not the same way,
and the run.
but good.
And the attitude for Derek Wolfe fits right in with what they want to have here defensively in Baltimore. And Calais Campbell, just a behemoth of a man. Fans are going to have to get used to seeing 93 there, just terrorizing backfields. Look, we showed Lamar walking out onto the field. He's got the visor. It's breaking the internet. He's become a one-word athlete these days. Everybody knows when you say Lamar, you're talking Lamar Jackson.
Lamar.
Our Frank's Red Hot player profile looks at Lamar embarking on year 3. Ryan.
So I almost had this.
He got all the accolades last season, well-deserved, but it doesn't seem to affect his approach.
I almost had this go back and forth with a Falcons fan yesterday, almost. And so college athlete I know made a comment about the cornerback, AJ Terrell. And I said that, AJ Terrell will be good in the NFL until Jamar Chase show up. And it was a joke, a shot at AJ from when they played LSU or whatever. But, I was just joking because I know AJ Terrell's good. I'm not hating on the kid. But I was joking. And so a Falcons fan that I know and a friend of mine chimed in and had something to say about it, which was okay because I guess AJ played with his son in high school. But I thought we was about to have a go back and forth. And so in my mind, I already formulated my Falcons joke for the day. And so I'm going to just go ahead and share it with you guys. I was like, let's talk about recent history. Recent history for the Ravens, 14-2 record, number 1 voted player in the NFL by the players, MVP. And before you can say something negative, we 0-2 in the last playoffs. But the recent memory for the Falcons is still 28-3. And I was going to leave it at that. I was going to cut them deep, but it didn't go there. I just thought I'd share with you guys.
This all season, when we were all just inside watching Netflix and all that, Lamar was watching film, looking at defenses. So I think that's going to pay big dividends this year.
The visor is approved by myself and Ryan Mink. Looking ready to go here in the first padded practice. We're just getting started. Training Camp Live presented by Xfinity. Remember, head to Facebook and enter your questions into the comment section. We'll get to those here momentarily.
We got commercials?
Coming up next, individual drills. We'll dive into these different position groups. Stick with us.
Okay, they gonna show a few drills. All right. Maybe this won't be the bland stuff I assume.
Now there's more to love with Xfinity X1, the ultimate entertainment experience. Like live sports, they're back.
None,
the
Melvin.
best way to watch. And
No excuses. The outside rushers we got don't have excuses. They got to get it.
More to easily find using just your voice. Hello, Moore. Where have you been all my life?
They got to. That's what I said. Commercial for online. I guess they got to pay bills too. I'm gonna hit the demonetized video on this one because I know it's gonna be demonetized. I'm just here with you guys.
Football. It's coming, and Ravens scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery are already here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in my settings and hit the demonetized button. I don't want no problems from nobody.
Please play safely and responsibly. This right here is the papadilla, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Latin for better than the sandwich.
Matter of fact, while the commercial's on, I just take it off.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John.
Oh, well, they're back. Never mind.
Welcome back to Training Camp Live presented by Xfinity. Check out the new Maryland Lottery Ravens scratch-off games. Pick up Ravens scratch-offs for your chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. There are great second-chance prizes, too.
Is it they're working on dip and rip?
And Ravens fan experiences.
Yeah. Working on a little dip and rip.
Next year.
Jahad Ward.
20 years.
Wolf.
For your chance to win a pair of seats.
Calais.
There are great seats for the 2021 season. Visit mdlottery.com/Ravens for all the details.
Crawford, Wolf.
Ryan Mink.
Go on now. Let's Ryan Mink and this guy. More football.
Hey, how about this? If one of us wins We still show up.
Brandon, he not practicing. I saw it earlier. Brandon not practicing.
No, yeah.
Brandon Williams not practicing. Iman Wallace not practicing. It was two. Chris Moore not practicing. There's one more. There's 4 people not practicing.
Can I hear that again? It sounds so nice.
Brandon, Chris Moore.
We're all here for. Look, as we get back to
And whoever else I just said. I just know it's 4 of them. I saw it a minute ago.
Of 14 padded practices over the next 3 weeks. We're going to be with you daily here on Training Camp Live, taking you into these individual drills. And
watch out, homie.
Such a key point for these rookies.
Harrison Queen, Ford. There we go. There we go. Got some little LB action.
But we learn a lot, and more importantly, the coaches learn a lot from what they look like when they're playing in pads. And as you look at this draft class,
JK,
where does your eye go first?
Well, obviously it's Patrick Queen. I mean, big expectations for the first-round pick out of LSU. I mean, he's expected to step into that starting middle linebacker role. That's a tall task, especially this year.
Yeah, I think both of them going to get a lot of action.
A lot this year.
They can get a lot of action. Let me turn up a little bit.
So, I mean, Patrick Queen has a lot ahead of him in terms of learning a complex defense, just assimilating to what an NFL full-contact padded practice feels like. So, you know, and being in his position, that's an integral position in the middle of this defense. So very big expectations for Patrick Queen. I think he can live up to them. He's not going to play mistake-free. That's just, it's going to happen. But defensive coordinator Wink Martindale said, hey, just make mistakes at 100 miles per hour. We can live with that. So I'm excited to see Patrick Queen run around this field making some plays.
Yeah, and there's an infrastructure around him too, Ryan, if you think about it. I mean, there's Queen, 48 white, middle of your screen, getting some work in here on the sled as, again, the individual drills picking up as we speak. But he's just going to be able to go play. Yes, he's going to have to deal with some of the communication that comes with that position. But you've got guys like Chuck Clark, Earl,
I don't know about superhero, but
next to him.
he going next year.
It's not as if
next year he gonna be that guy
and be asked to run them. The other guy on that graphic
who could be a starter, who could lose that spot potentially. I think Fort gonna start out a starter and eventually lose it, and not because of play, but because of youth
and his talent. But he joins a running back, Ryan, that is loaded. Is there enough of a ball there to get all these guys touches? Because you think J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and obviously Mark Ingram.
Who's number 30?
Absolutely, there is. I mean, the Ravens run the ball more than anybody in football by a large margin. So, I mean, you look at it, and you also have Lamar Jackson, of course, running the ball a lot. I think that Lamar will run the ball a little bit less, and I think J.K. Dobbins will take a little bit off the plate of all 3 of those other guys. I think that Mark Ingram, obviously getting up there a little bit in age, he's still the lead dog. But J.K. Dobbins is a very, very talented player that's going to come in here and fight for that number 2 role between Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think there's enough. And everybody brings a little bit something different. You know, Gus Edwards is a big body back. He can still be your short yardage, power, downhill running back, run it between those tackles.
I forgot they were signing him.
I'll take me some Gus Edwards. I'll take some Gus the Bus in that situation.
But them 4 guys right there on the screen, don't get him out the running back drills. Just go field punts all day.
Change a pace back, get the ball in his hands, and let him.
That's all you do. Go field punts all day.
It's not like Justice Hill is any slower than he was last year. He's a better player than he was last year. So I still want to see him in space a little bit, get the ball. He's a change.
I ain't even lie. When I play Madden with the Ravens, I take Mark out. I put Justice Hill in.
So I think there is enough for everybody, especially when you have a little bit less of Lamar running the ball, perhaps. So J.K. Dobbins, you know, this is a guy who did not like or does not want to sit on the bench much.
Darn, Gus look good.
Impact throughout his entire career. He did at Ohio State. He's coming off of running for 2,000 yards. He wants to make it.
Gus is like a freight train. Get that man the ball.
And it should be noted this year more than ever. Depth.
Yeah, third is Barner.
Valuable an attribute to any organization.
Did y'all see Gus?
As any season.
Oh my God!
Of the draft, and it's important to get to know these names.
Wow!
As we know with this organization, but across the league, you'll find impact players in rounds 3.
I'm rooting for Prochet.
7. So as we
Prochet,
in this list, Ryan,
my guy that I'm rooting for.
Practices fans should keep an eye on.
Well, I look at the 4 third-round picks and then the 6th-round pick in James Prochet. You look at
yeah, he definitely looking thick. I mean,
the Ravens have won
looking thick.
Interior pass rush from their defensive line.
Gus looking like a linebacker out there.
The days of Floaty Nada. So Madubuike has that potential. I mean, here's
Gus
a guy who can really kind of move some people along there, and you know he plays a little bit. This is going to sound crazy. He plays a little bit like Aaron
Gus
Donald
thick.
of the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not saying he's there. Not even saying he's close yet. But I'm just saying that's what his game kind of looks like. And then you look at Tyree Phillips. I mean, he's going to be competing for that right guard spot and the backup tackle spot. Which
Tyree
is very
from
important now.
East Mississippi.
James Hurst. Who's that?
Via Mississippi State.
Tackle. Tyree
Via
Phillips is a big
think
guy
the second
that
season of Last Chance U.
Wide receiver. He could eventually become the Ravens' primary slot receiver. Here's a fast, sure-handed guy who can.
I want to see what Chauncey. Did we cut? Is Chauncey Rivers still there? Did we cut Chauncey?
I think the Ravens long-term look at this.
Chauncey's still on it. Chauncey's still there. I guess I need to pull up a roster.
Harrison right next to him.
See if I can pull up a roster in the background.
We know that Patrick Queen. He's going to need to be a starter week 1. How quick can Malik Harrison get up to speed, and how soon do we see that duo terrorizing opposing offenses? That's going to be interesting. The last one is James Prochet in the 6th round, that wide receiver. He's going to be competing for the starting punt returner job, and he's the lead man for the competition right now. So there's a lot of rookies. I know they're getting a late
start. So if he win it, do we even
about,
keep
how much can you rely on
if Prochet win it, do we even keep?
They didn't have mini camp. That's a lot of lost time, and that's legit. Those guys are hampered a little bit.
Come on, Trace. Make the throw. They had to be Trace making that throw.
In their roles, and I'm not saying they're all going to be starters, but in their roles, they can certainly make an impact this year.
Well, it starts today. Jay Prochet.
We don't want to see the cameraman.
First guy out on this practice field hitting the jugs machine early, way before the rest of the team got out here. Again, many more minutes here to come here on Training Camp Live presented by Xfinity. Coming up next, we dive into that Twitter poll. Where are we going to go? You're the producer of the show. We'll also answer the questions that are posted
until they come back from commercial. Like I said, I don't want no issues, so we'll keep it on just me.
The Wawa Hoagies. Every hoagie is made for you with delicious ingredients on a freshly baked Amoroso roll. Try one today.
Mute. There we go. Shoot, I got to. Steve. Hey, Sneed never was a burner. Sneed a in and out guy. He good with his cuts. He ain't never been a burner. That's why he been in the slot. Sneed ain't never been a burner. So, him running fast ain't his forte. So, you know what I'm saying? That you can't expect it. Him running fast was never his forte. Okay, let me print this. That way I ain't got to keep it up. Down below. He good for making catches and taking his. Yep, that's what he do. He make tough catches, running like this thick routes, and then get up the field and do his thing. That's what Sneed is. Sneed's never been a burner. We back.
At BaltimoreRavens.com/you-pick-the-team. And I wouldn't.
It's gonna be tough to pick the team this year because
any of Ryan Mink's projections based off.
I think a lot of people we cut gonna make other teams.
Of this, Ryan, I'm sorry, but look,
I think a lot of people we cut gonna make other teams.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible. Oh, terrible.
Because we got a deep 80-man squad right now.
You gotta, like this, pick the team that way, right?
Yeah, I love all that work you've been doing in the pantry to get ready for your 53 is showing itself early. The Twitter poll has asked us to look at different position groups.
Wide receiver, I picked receiver.
First one out of the gate here in show number 1. Surprise.
Yeah, I picked wide receiver.
Wide receivers by an unbelievable.
Come on, Boykin. Did you show up, baby?
Because they want to see Marquise Hollywood Brown.
That's not who we want to see. We want to see all the other guys that potentially going to fill that spot.
But this is a group that has a lot of intrigue heading into this season.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't vote on wide receivers to see Hollywood. We know we got in Hollywood. We want to see the known unknowns.
You had 2 draft picks from last year, and Hollywood Brown and Miles Boykin. Then you added another 2 this year in Devin Duvernay and James Prochet. They're added to the veterans, Willie Sneed and Chris Moore. But
every incomplete ball, I'm saying, is Trace.
Guys who are looking for their breakout moment this year. And, Hollywood Brown had a really good rookie season, really good. I mean, tied the Ravens franchise record for most touchdowns by a rookie wide receiver. So, I mean, he's already kind of got a good start to build off of, but This year, the expectations is that he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
Get the feet, drag the feet with the toe tap.
Talk that he's going to be a big.
That's the kid from Texas Tech.
Then Miles Boykin, a lot of questions about him too. I mean, here's a guy who has all the physical potential, big body, fast, all those things. Just got done.
Darius still left. Darius played at Georgetown. I didn't even know Georgetown had football till I went looking him up.
Machine every day. Wow. I'm concerned about how sore his hands are. I've got injury questions with it.
It's callousing, Ryan. It's not something you would know much about. That's an athlete term. Or just a tough guy term.
Yeah, but I mean, these wide receivers, if the offense is going to take another step, right? I think a lot of it's going to be on those wide receivers. You know, the run game, we all know what that's about. We know that this team has, you know, an MVP at quarterback. And obviously Lamar has room to grow. But at wide receiver, that's where the question marks lie. And so if those guys can really take the next step and become premier wideouts, watch out.
We all know that.
Brian,
us, the whole flock know that if our receivers come to play
position battles
and produce,
our Facebook comment section really
dangerous.
Was finding itself
dangerous.
Show number one, because you've got a Hall of Famer to replace in Marshall Young at that guard position. And look, there are a lot of candidates here that are going to make themselves known over the next few weeks. But how do you look at that position battle here early in these padded practices?
Tyree, Ben Powers. A lot of people think Ben. Where is Fluker? I haven't seen Fluker yet.
Competition is who's going to start at right guard. I probably look at
Ben
Powers and DJ Fluker, the free agent.
I think that's him.
Two leading candidates there because they have the experience. You know, I think Tyree Phillips, being a rookie, coming in, he played left tackle last year.
There you go. There you go. He's 70. Okay, he changed his number.
But he'll get his opportunity.
I think he was 79 in Seattle.
And he's trying to pull a Bradley Bozeman.
Look how big Fluker is compared to Cologne Castillo.
The previous year, and then last year started 16 games at left guard and played pretty darn well. Ben Powers, a 4th-round pick, is trying to.
Who the heck is 77?
He started one game, the Week 17 game against.
Played
well in that game. Now he's looking to come out here and prove that in year 2 he can take over a starting position. I actually saw him walk out to the field right next to Bradley Bozeman. So, you know, I think those two are going to be.
Bozeman big. That's Bozeman.
And then DJ Fluker. I mean, here's a former 1st-round pick, a big, and I mean.
Oh, they about even out now. Okay, he must stand on a little hill or something.
Seattle Seahawks with the Chargers.
Bozeman, how big is Bozeman?
The Ravens offensive line coach
6'3".
out there in San Diego when they were.
He looked way bigger than 6'3" just then.
Familiarity there, and here's a guy who's played a lot of snaps in the NFL. He's in great shape. He dropped a lot of weight.
Fluker 6'5".
Went from, I think you said a 4X to a 2X.
Bozeman looked like 6'8" just then. That's why I had to check to see who 77 was. But yeah, that's Bozeman.
Other offensive linemen look small. That's hard to do. So
see how much bigger he looked in the background.
Powers and DJ Fluker probably is the leading candidates at that spot, and then you have Ben Bredesen, another rookie, and Tyree Phillips also.
So this must be the interior lineman, and the tackles must be somewhere else.
Starter at starting center and at those guard positions. So that's a wide open competition. I think the Ravens are going to try to get everybody some snaps so they can get a good look at it.
And Ryan, as we look at this offensive line group getting some work in this full padded practice,
they look huge,
unit.
but
I mean,
on the roster,
it's critical for everybody to get their chemistry down. But these padded practices,
Bozeman is 6'3", 317,
as they try to replace
and
the Hall of Famer,
Fluker is
monumental as they
just
hope
saw
to match,
number 70.
if not increase on the work they were able to do offensively last
Fluker
season.
is 6'5", 342.
Here, and we touched on it with the Queen edition via the draft, but your inside linebackers for week 1.
Brandon, you say Pat Queen looking bulky.
I mean,
you should have seen Gus, Brandon.
One of them, the 1st-round pick.
I mean, Gus looked
I probably would say LJ
amazing.
The Ravens signed him midway through last season. He played pretty darn well. They signed
like
him
really
to a
amazing
extension before last year ended. So here's a player that is dependable. You know what he's going to do on the field. He's great in coverage. He can blitz for you. LJ Ford is quietly a better player than I think a lot of people think.
Yeah, he is.
And then, like I said, I think Malik Harrison is going to be pushing him for reps, and they're going to roll him into that. But it's the question of how quick can Malik Harrison get up to speed to be that number 2 primary starter. The Ravens, though,
how quick can Queen get up to speed? Don't forget about that. He's a rookie too.
Formations that sometimes you might only have one inside linebacker on the field. It might be Patrick Queen and Patrick Queen alone out there. So it's not that you always have that traditional 3-4, 2 inside linebackers on the field at all times.
All right. Especially with the league being the passing league.
The horn, man. That's it for us. 1 practice in the books.
That's it?
team period. So make sure to stay tuned for updates. But coming up,
we'll roll through, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Orlando Brown Jr.
Cut this off.
Marlon
Cut this
Humphrey,
down.
Matthew Judon have their press conference.
Hey, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Don't know if this gonna stay up or not. I hope it do. And if work job don't have me ripped up, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Y'all have a good day. And we'll keep checking Twitter and see what kind of updates we get, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through and messing with me early on a Monday morning. See you when I see you. Peace.